All right. So for synthetic division, the very first thing that you want to do is make sure you can use synthetic division. You can only use synthetic division if the divisor is in the form of x minus k. So we look at our divisor, x minus 3. Is that in the form of x minus k? Yes. You have to find your k value. So to find k, I take x minus 3 and I set it equal to 0. We've done that kind of stuff before. What would be my k value? If I set this equal to 0 and I solve for x, what's my k going to be? Positive 3. Okay? I'm going to take that and I'm going to bring it over and I'm going to put that in this little box. So we're going to do a procedure that is like a shortcut. It's not something that you look at it and you can like just kind of figure out mathematically how to do it. It's a complete and total like procedure shortcut thing. It's synthetic. It's not real division. It's synthesizing division. Okay? So the only way you'll know how to do this is practicing it. What I'm going to do next to this boxed in 3, that's our k value, is I'm going to write the coefficients of the original dividend. So it's the same rules that it was for long division, where if one of them is missing in the x's, if one of the powers is missing, we just put in a 0. So we've got x cubed, we've got x squared. Where's my x? It's missing. I need it, so I'm going to put in 0x. And then I have 9 with no x's. So you have to check to see if anything's missing. If something's missing, you have to put a 0 or you will get it wrong. Now, next to this 3, I put all the coefficients for the x powers in order. So those are the coefficients of the dividend. The coefficients of the dividend. Then I'm going to skip a line, and then I'm going to draw another line. I'm going to skip like space because I'm going to write in there, and I'm going to draw this line. Okay? You ready to start? I haven't even started yet. All I did was set it up. So the rules are bring down, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, until you run out of stuff. Okay? The rules are bring down, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, until you run out of stuff. What's my first rule? Bring down. Bring down. So what I bring down is this -1 underneath the line. That's my first step. Bring down. Now I multiply. What I multiply is this -1 outside times the 3 that is in the k value spot. That gives me -3. I put that under the 4. So my next step is add. So I add 4 plus -3, that's 1. Now I have multiply again. So I'm going to take 1. I'm going to multiply that by the 3 that's outside. I'm going to put it underneath the 0. And then I'm going to add. Then I'm going to multiply again. 3 all the way out here times that 3. Then I'm going to add. And then I box that in that last number. You'll find out why in a moment. That's just like habit. Immediately, boom, box, last number. So you see my procedure was bring down, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, until I couldn't do anything else because I ran out of numbers. That is not difficult. You just only remember it if you practice it. Now, we look at the original dividend. The original was cubed. We were dividing by 1x power. So if I take an x cubed and I divide by an x, what should be my highest power of x's when I'm done? If I'm taking cubed and I divide by 1x, my highest power is going to be an x squared. So the power goes down by 1. And that is always true for synthetic division because in order to use synthetic division, this has to be just x by itself. It can't be x squared here. So this always is true. All right? And what that means is I'm going to take these coefficients that I just back out so you can see those words at the same time. Can you see both? Okay. I'm going to take these. These are now the coefficients of the answer. These are the coefficients of the quotient. These are the coefficients of the quotient. Coefficients of the quotient, which is the answer. So here's my solution. Here's my answer. -1 x to the second plus 1 x plus 3 plus, what is that 18? What happens after I put all the coefficients into my answer? That's the remainder. So we put our remainder over our divisor, x minus 3. You got it all written down, video? I know, you're not on the right page. You did an entire assignment, or entire example, you're on the wrong page. Turn the page. Oh, you don't even have today's stuff? When you were in the bathroom, maybe? Okay. Questions before we do it again? Let's do it again. Example 2, same stuff. First thing we have to do is make sure that you can use synthetic division, but like it's on the notes for synthetic division, so yes we can, but let's see why. You look here, and this has to be in the form of x minus k. Is it in that form? No. Why not? It's addition? Okay, well, isn't that the same thing as x minus something to make it into addition? Now, is it in that form? So yes, it is in that form. It just was hidden a little bit. Okay, so to find out my actual k value, if you set it equal to 0, what is that k value? So that's what goes into the little square to the side. Am I missing any of my x powers from 3 down to 2, down to 1 to 0? Am I missing any x powers? Okay, then I can put in my coefficients. Skip a line, draw a line. What's our first step? Bring down, then multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. So bring down the 3. Multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Why did I box that last number in? It's the remainder, and that helps me remember that that's the remainder. And then since I started with cubed, my answer is going to go down a power. Yes?
Where did the 5 come from?
Which 5? The positive 5?
Yeah.
I multiplied -5 times -1.
Okay.
So those are the questions you need to ask if you don't know where I got a number. Definitely ask. Because I did it fast, because this goes fast. So now my answer is going to go down 1 power from cubed. So it's going to be 1 power lower than cubed is squared. And these are the coefficients. So I do 3x squared minus 5x plus 7. What is that minus 12? Okay, the way I'm going to write it is I'm going to write subtract, and then put 12 over the divisor, x plus 1. See how I did not write plus a negative 12, because that's just silly. I wrote minus 12.
One bigger here?
Yeah.
Doesn't it let me do it that way now?
I don't know if it will, but I do have a comment about big ideas. On the one on Friday, that one, it would allow that because on Friday you were getting like binomials and you written like multiple terms up here, now that it's just one term, it should be easy to put either plus or minus. When there's multiple terms, it gets confusing. I was helping somebody left Bell because we were working on it, and there was an answer that was kind of like this, and they put a 1 in, like a -1, they put a 1, and Big Ideas counted it wrong. Shouldn't be wrong, but that's what was wrong about their question, about what they had typed in, is they had, instead of like -x squared, they had like -1. So, just heads up, don't let that be the reason why you can't get that one. Okay? All right, let's try one more together, then I'm going to have you try a bunch by yourself to make sure you're getting it. Let's try number 4 together. Can we use synthetic division? Is this in the form of x minus k?
Yes.
So you set it equal to 0, you solve for x, that is our k value. Then we do our coefficients, but as we're writing our coefficients, what do you have to check for? If they're all there. So we got a cubed, I don't have a squared. So I have to put in a 0, otherwise you will get the answer wrong. If you are simply copying everything I do and not thinking about what you write down, you will not remember this. This is the time when you start thinking about what's next. Bring down, multiply. Bring down, multiply. Not bring down, add, multiply, add. Oops. There are 5 more. You try them. There are 5. You try them. Just make sure you have like, oh, this is your answer for that one. Never mind. That's what you're doing right now. Somebody have a hand up over here. I'm gonna pause this video because you're trying them right now. So the last section says use synthetic division to evaluate this equation, f of x, when x equals -4. How would you do that without me even telling you? Let me rephrase that. How would you do it without the words use synthetic division? How would you evaluate that for x equals -4? What would you do? You just plug in -4 and find the answer. That is a method. You do not have to learn any method except for this 1 week. If you never ever go back to this method, fine. But I want to introduce this method to you because we're doing synthetic division, so you're going to learn there is another method for finding the equation value when you plug in -4. This method uses synthetic division. This method is called the remainder, remainder theorem. The remainder theorem. This is what you do. Over here, this is what x equals. So you don't have to solve for x. This is what x equals. You take it and you put it in the box. Then you write your coefficients. Make sure you don't have any zeros. Then you do synthetic division. Bring down, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, can I get 5, -21, 97, -359 is my remainder? Okay? Synthetic division. What this means is if I were to plug in -4 into the equation, I would get out -359. The remainder is what you would have gotten if you plugged in -4 into the equation. You're not sure? You could take your calculator and you could do 5 times -4 to the third minus -4 squared plus 13 times -4 plus 29. And you could type that all in your calculator. It should give you the same answer. Okay, these mean the exact same thing. We're just doing it a different method. We're using synthetic division instead of plugging it in to our calculator. Okay? So for number 9, what is going to be in my little box? 2. Good. Are we missing any powers? So we go -3, 4, -17, -6. Skip a line, drop a line. Drop it down. Multiply. Add. Multiply. Add. Multiply. Oops. Correctly. The remainder should be the answer. Can you try the last one? You try the last one? Zeros? I'm missing a 0. At the beginning, there's a 0. So if the power is 4, I'm walking around and a lot of you are missing a 0. If the power is 4, how many coefficients should I have? When the power was 3, I had 4 coefficients. When the power was 3, I had 4 coefficients. How about when the power is 4? Some of you did number 8. How many coefficients should I have if the power is 4? So I should have 5. I'll have -1. I'm missing the x cubed, so I'll have 0. Here's my x squared, 1. Where's my x? There isn't 1, 0. And then a 4. So if you set it up wrong, if you miss some zeros, you're going to get the wrong answer. You could check your answer by using your calculator to plug in the number, but let's just do it right and we don't have to worry about that. Our assignment is on big ideas. Notice I did not have the equations there because that's not what we're doing. We're not dividing. We were just finding the remainder. The assignment is on big ideas. It is 4-3, day 2. I got 3 more days with you. Try to get as much in there as possible before I leave, and then you can learn the rest of it yourself. I can get red papers back. If you want them, you can grab them. You have 10 minutes, but otherwise I'll get back to you tomorrow. Have a great day.